It's make or break as players prepare for the second leg of the PGA Tour Playoffs for the FedExCup, the Deutsche Bank Championship.
Welcome to PGA Tour Today, presented by MasterCard.
Hello everyone, I'm Casey Black. With back-to-back birdies on the final two holes at TPC Boston, Steve Stricker won the 2009 Deutsche Bank Championship, jumping to the top of the FedExCup standings, replacing Tiger Woods, which just added to the playoffs excitement. Mr. September, as Stricker has now been dubbed, will try to pull off another victory this week, which would once again send him to the top of the FedExCup points race. Stricker is currently second in the FedExCup standings, which was aided by his tie for third last week at the Barclays. The defending champion will head out at 8 o'clock Eastern with last week's champion and current FedExCup leader, Matt Kuchar. They'll also be joined by Martin Laird, who finished runner-up last week after losing to Kuchar in a playoff. They'll be on their quest for more FedExCup points starting off on the 10th. And in the group right before them at 7:48 Eastern Time, also starting out on the 10th, another trio of players who are grouped together by their rank in the FedExCup standings. Winner of the World Golf Championships Bridgestone Invitational, Hunter Mahan, who is currently 7th in the standings. Bubba Watson, who won at Travelers earlier this year and who lost in a playoff at the PGA Championship to Martin Kaymer, and Jim Furyk. Now, Furyk dropped in the standings from 3rd to 8th after he was disqualified from the Barclays for missing his Pro-Am tee time on Wednesday. He's hoping to make up some lost ground this week, but can rest assured that players who are currently ranked 34th or higher are automatically guaranteed to get into the BMW Championship next week, the third leg of the PGA Tour Playoffs for the FedExCup, which leads to Tiger and his quest to keep his playoff hopes alive. Woods rose in the standings from 112th at the start of the Barclays to 65th after his tie for 12th. In order for Tiger to make it to the BMW Championships, he needs to finish somewhere between 52nd and 57th this week to advance. Keep in mind, this is an event he has won once, had 2 runner-up finishes, and wound up tied for 11th last year after a final round 63. TPC Boston is a course where Tiger has never shot higher than a 73 in a competitive round at the Deutsche Bank Championship. He'll be heading out at 11:42 Eastern with John Senden, who also ironically finished tied for 11th last year at this event, and Michael Sim, who is playing in this event for the very first time. And Phil Mickelson, who missed the cut last week at the Barclays, dropped from 4th in the standings to 10th. He'll get his round underway at 12:18 Eastern Time. Lefty, who won this event back in 2007, is assured a spot in the BMW Championship next week. He'll be joined by Ben Crane, who won the Farmers Insurance Open, and Jeff Overton, who despite 3 runner-ups and 2 third-place finishes this year, is still looking for his first win on tour. And while some players are trying to crack the top 5 in the FedExCup standings, which gets them one step closer to the coveted FedExCup trophy, there are other players who are hoping to crack the top 70 this week, which would earn them a spot in the BMW Championship field next week. Here's a look at the current cut line. Players like Justin Leonard, Stephen Ames, and Matt Jones are just inside the top 70, need to seal the deal this week, while Spencer Levine, Davis Love III, Ryuji Amada, D.A. Points, to name a few, need to play well this week to keep their playoff hopes alive. Fred Alberts from the PGA Tour Network has more on what to expect this week at the Deutsche Bank Championship.
Welcome to TPC Boston in the second round of the PGA Tour Playoffs for the FedExCup. It's the Deutsche Bank Championship. What a field we have gathered here in Norton, Massachusetts. Let's see. Tiger's here, Phil's here, Ernie's here, Steve's here, and Earl apparently is coming, and that's unwelcome. Earl as in Hurricane Earl, which is expected to arrive late Friday afternoon. Depends on how close to the coast that hurricane hits. We could be expecting between 2 and 5 inches of rain. This TPC Boston course is just in wonderful shape now, but you wonder how it will be able to absorb 5 inches of rain, if in fact that is how much falls here in Norton, Massachusetts. They have tried to accommodate. They have moved tee times up for the opening round some 50 minutes so that everyone can at least complete the opening round. Right now, a wonderful field and a very mean hurricane headed our way. We'll have all the action unfold for you on the PGA Tour Network at SiriusXM. Our broadcast begins at noon Eastern Time. And of course, check back at PGATour.com for all the very latest updates.
Thank you, Fred. You can watch the opening round coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship on Golf Channel starting at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. But before that, if you want to see live coverage of the Deutsche Bank Championship, head to PGATour.com starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for live at coverage. And again, that's right here, PGATour.com.
PGA Tour Today is presented by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, proud sponsor of the PGA Tour.